Greetings. In this video, I want to show you a real-life working example of an I-751 affidavit letter of support that you're going to give to your loved one so that they can submit to immigration. And the whole purpose of this letter is to remove any conditions on residency. Now, before I go any further, I'm not an attorney, so please don't take any legal advice from me. This is just my real-life working example that worked for us. But again, I'm not an attorney. So in my particular situation, I have a family member who lives in the United States, and they met someone abroad. And it doesn't matter if it's Europe or if it's South America or Asia or wherever, this still applies. And so what immigration is looking for is that there's nothing nefarious going on. If they want to make sure it's a real marriage. So they want to make sure that, like it's not for any corrupted reasons, basically. And so the party, your loved one, who's a new United States citizen who married the person in the United States, has to submit these letters. And the letters basically show that you, as the person that's writing the affidavit, knows both parties. And preferably, if you know both parties before the marriage, the better. And you don't want it to be just some kind of an acquaintance, someone that casually knows them, or it's someone that you know on Facebook. You could use family members, you can use friends, you can use a priest or a pastor, just someone who has met both parties, preferably several times a year, and that they can vouch that, yes, this is a real working marriage. And so immigration uses this to fill in the gaps in case there's other proofs of that, if other proofs are missing, like, preferably they both own a home together, preferably they have a joint bank account, and even better yet, if they both have kids, they like to see that. So this letter, these two letters that's going to be submitted, it's basically used to fill in the gaps, if one of those things are missing. Now, here's my real life working example, and the only thing that was changed on here is the names and the addresses and some of the details, but the gist of it's the same. So as you can see here, I entitled my letter, and it looks like they would prefer that you type out the letter, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with actually handwriting if you don't have access to a computer or a printer. Just make sure you write it real neat. But so I typed it out. This is my name. This is my address. You want to put the person who's writing the affidavit letter on behalf of your loved one. You want to put your date of birth and the city that you were born in. If you want to put the hospital on there, that's good too. As you can see here, I am Steve Doe's brother, and now Jane Doe's brother-in-law. This is after the marriage, right? And by the way, this is the current date. Dear USCIS officer, with this affidavit letter, I would love to expound upon the support and legitimacy of the marriage between my brother Steve Doe and Jane. My 13-year-old daughter and I got the opportunity to fly with Steve, my nephew Everett, to witness the marriage of Steve and Jane along with Jane's parents, November of 2019. It was one of the best weeks of my life, and Jane has been such a joy and gift to my brother, mom, and myself. I live 20 minutes from where they live, and my daughter and I get to visit frequently. So as you can see there, with the letter, they're looking for a personal touch, just not some kind of robotic, yeah, I know them, blah, blah, blah. As you can see here, I put some emotion into my letter, which, by the way, I do mean, because I do truly love my sister-in-law. But you want to make sure you put your emotions in your letter just to convey to immigration that, yes, I know this person. They mean a lot to me. All right, so I go on to expound. I say, the last 3 years, we got together for dinner, celebrate holidays, traveled to Virginia to spend time with my mom. She is now my sister and a daughter to my mom. I know from the bottom of my heart that she loves and adores my brother, and he is so crazy about her. It's been an amazing since she has become part of our family. So again, more personal touches, and I'm given times that we meet, and that Christmas, holidays. I go on to expound. Thank you for the opportunity to share a little bit of the blessing since she has come into our lives. If you need to contact me for any reason, please call me, and I put my phone number down and my email address. And then you want to write this. I swear under penalty of perjury that these details are true and correct to my understanding, and I can take complete responsibility for my words. Now, again, This is a document. This is a letter you're submitting that you're going to sign, and this is, under penalty of perjury, this is a legal document. So you want to make sure you tell the full truth and everything on here. And then, of course, I put sincerely and then my name. And this is where you sign, but don't sign yet. And this is the next example of what I want to give to you, what you want to put on the letter. This is Notary of Republic. And basically, you don't have to put this on there. It's basically a sealed stamp that you put on, that you have someone put on the letter and they sign, and it's someone licensed to do notaries. You don't have to do this. I would highly recommend you do it because it shows the seriousness of the letter, that you're serious. The notary sees that the person writing the affidavit has their ID out, and yes, that's the person. So they know that the person who's submitting the application to immigration, that they're not forging someone's name or whatever. The notary is looking at the person's driver's license and they sign it. And of course it's got this, the notary is basically the seal that raises up on the letter. And so when the immigration gets it, they're like, okay, this person who wrote this letter is serious. They went out and they paid whatever, and it's like $3 to $4 to have it done, or $5 wherever you're at, and they paid to have it done. So that's important that they see that, and that someone actually signed it and said, hey, yeah. So that's why I say don't sign this letter until you get to the notary. And you could get this done at banks and, different like mailing places. Just basically Google it and they'll tell you, where you can go to get a notary done, and they'll stamp it, and then there's your letter. Then you submit that to your loved one, and then your loved one will submit it to immigration. And again, so you could use two letters from a family member to someone, a member of the church or friend. They just want to know that the person who's signing the affidavit has close contacts with both parties, and they're a friend or a business person or a family member. So again, this for the I-751, these are the things that's listed. Full name and address, date of birth, relationship as you saw in the letter, an account of your relation explaining how you met the couple. You don't have to put that, but go ahead and put that on there because I didn't. And time frame, give a sense of the frequency, details. They're looking for a personal touch basically, and so that's something that you want to make sure you put in the letter. And again, the letter that I submitted and I'm showing you here is a real life example, and my sister-in-law and my brother have been married now happily, and they accepted this letter as part of the I-751. All right, thank you for watching. If you could, make sure you subscribe to me, and I'll talk at you later.